to the BMM Podcast. BMM Podcast is where we produce unfiltered and raw content. Here we have myself, Devoe Sherman. We also have my guy, Etter.
Gang.
And also we're interviewing LaToya Jackson, mixologist at Toast to the Good Life. Man, we gotta sip to that.
Toast to the good life.
Let's toast it early. Let's do it early. Let's get it going early.
Got that potion.
Oh yeah, we also got the Potion 9. Shout out to them. All right, tag them, tag us, tag LaToya Jackson, Toast to the Good Life. Hit all the social media tags. So we're gonna get right into the actual BMM Podcast interviewing LaToya Jackson. So with that being said, can you give us just a brief bio about who you are, where you come from, how did this whole thing start?
Absolutely. So my name is LaToya Jackson. I am a Cincinnati native. I've been in the bar and hospitality industry for over 12 years. So from the front of the house to the back of the house. So from barback to bartender to the back of the house of operations, management, events, the whole thing, I've been there. So the way that Toast to the Good Life got started is I was actually working an event with my aunt. And it was actually a wedding. And one of the guests came up to me and they were saying, "Can I get your information? I would like to hire you." And I was just like, no, you need to talk to my aunt. She's the event planner. That's the way it works. And he was like, "No, I want to hire you for bar service." And I'm like, "I don't understand what you're talking about, but I'm going to give you my information anyway." I went home, I talked to T, looked up all this information, did tons of research, and there's this whole world out there. And then that's where it all began.
Yeah, by the grace of God.
That's where it all began.
Tell us a little bit about you as a younger person, though. Like, you kind of told us how you got started, but
Yes.
you say you come from Cincinnati.
Yep.
Like, what was your life like? What type of
What
did you grow
neighborhood
up?
you was in? What neighborhood you grew up in? Everybody.
I
high school
graduated from Finneytown.
Hey.
Woo, woo. Wildcats. I met my man at Finneytown. He was a basketball player.
Wildcats, is that what y'all are?
No, I graduated from Finneytown. What year did I go? I went there from 9th through 12th grade. So before that, I
mean, just like the entrepreneurship background, because that's what we here for. Like, did
Okay.
you see that younger age was that instilled in you? Like, what were you around? Like, what was that like?
No.
That
so
life like at a young age, the exposure.
the biggest thing that was instilled in me is basically working. Like, my mom is like, "You're going to learn how to do this, this, and this, and you're going to start working. You have to do this, this, and this." So that was the biggest thing. Like, I knew I had to get out and work and have a great work ethic and make some things happen for myself.
Thanks.
So that was something that was instilled in me by my mom. As far as the entrepreneurship, I actually saw my aunt. So I've worked for people that have had their own companies.
Right.
So that's where I saw it. So being like the finance manager and operating the things that they had at their companies, that's where I saw a lot of the entrepreneurship at.
Yeah, nice.
So,
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what are some challenges? And that's what we're here to talk about today, right? What it takes, the cost to be the boss. Like, so we want to know, like, so two things. The first question is, what is the cost to be the boss? Like, is there actually a cost to be the boss? Like, dollar signs? Like, how much do you think, like, it costs to actually be a boss and to, like, run a business? And you don't have to be in the form of numbers, but it could just be, it could be time. It could be, whatever, however you want to perceive it.
I think that's the biggest thing. Is going to be your time.
Okay.
So when first starting out with the business, we did a lot of research. We had our family around. We were testing things, and our family would come over every Friday when we were doing live videos. Me, Dre, T, Jeffrey. We had everything set up. It was like a party at our house every Friday.
Okay.
We were doing that. So everybody was so used to that at the beginning, but now that we've ramped stuff up, we just don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing, is just being that time and just being conscious and aware of how you're spending your time, because the cost can be too much into your business and not enough time outside looking at your business and really being strategic about things that you need to do for your business, because you're so much in it and trying to do it. And then also your family, like just making sure your family and yourself, making sure that you take care of yourself.
Right. Facts. Like, how would you say, what's a good way to manage your time in that aspect that you've seen that works for you?
So I can say it is constantly moving for me. Like, I'm constantly trying to figure that out. But I did see a live video a couple of days ago by this lady who does the Budgetnista. I saw a live video by her, and she actually said that she set her schedule to where, like, say she does a half a day on Wednesday, she's off on Friday, and then she was just more aware of things that she needed to do. And she was really happy that she started to become aware of her time and how she managed her time, because her and her husband took a vacation. And then I don't know how long after that vacation, but that was actually the last vacation that she had with him because he had a brain aneurysm. So it was like, oh, wow. So to me, that was like really striking, because I will engulf myself in work. Like I'm like out, like T know how hard he sometimes I make it look easy when I come out, but he know how hard I work. Like I don't
Eternal grind.
I be
Yeah.
What's the hours like for you? Like just in your personal life, would you say, in the balance that you have, like just in life?
how many hours I put into work, or how many for
because as an entrepreneur, I mean, we can only work so many hours. You know, what would you say?
Unlimited hours. 24/7.
I think that's what my business say. I'm open 24/7.
24/7, huh? Yeah.
No,
I mean,
seriously,
but
I
I
don't
feel
have,
like you have to have, like, can't none of us work 24/7.
True.
It has to be, you know, some type of structure,
Downtime.
some type of family time. Like like your mental wouldn't be there if it wasn't. So
that is the truth. I am still working on that balance though.
yeah,
Like, 'cause
realistically though, like just even for somebody being in the life of an entrepreneur, like what would you say would be a good balance? Like, so say you work 170 hours, you say maybe that's unhealthy, but working, you know, maybe 90 hours for the week would be, you know what I'm saying, feasible.
I would
as
say,
far as that.
like, it just depends on the person and what type of business they have.
Right.
And also, I'm not going to say number of hours equal dedication, but for me, number of hours equal dedication, because it's really hard for me to cut it off. Even when I'm not working, I'm thinking about it. Like,
Right.
I wake up like, oh, dang, okay, let me write this down because I need to do this. But I think also one of the owner of Mortar, he told me this, like, just basically put in certain things in your calendar. Like, I need to get this done, and then you also put in time that you need to take away.
Right.
So that's just been a valuable thing, just making sure that I have everything in my calendar.
Yeah, facts. Addition
Yeah, and
by
that's
subtraction.
important. I always tell entrepreneurs, like, you need an operational, like, schedule. Monday through Sunday, you need to know exactly what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it. Like, and once you really understand that, like on Mondays, you may say, on Mondays I'm gonna do marketing. On Tuesday I'm gonna do administrative. On Wednesday I'm gonna do some operational stuff, maybe some HR or whatever. But you kind of have to know how to manage your time and putting things in the calendar. Like I do that all the time. The calendar sends me the notifications. It has the list of tasks that I need to do for, again, Monday through Sunday, what exactly I need to do. If I'm doing my yoga, my meditation, like all that stuff in there, personal and business, is all kind of like split up. So that's an early gem that I get at entrepreneurs right now that's tuning in. So that's something that I would say. But another question, how has like your priorities changed since you became like full-time like entrepreneur?
So I want to say, like, in the beginning, we were building and trying to understand if what we were building was really going to work. So now that we understand what we're building is going to work, we're still building, but it just looks a little different. So it's like there's things that we know that we've tried that are working, so we're able to operationalize things, talking to Coach Devoe.
Yeah.
This is my business coach right here. So we're able to operationalize a lot of stuff and understand the things that we didn't understand at the beginning. So that's how our focus has changed. And now it's also more about clients and being able to build that client and that relationship
Yeah.
with that client as well.
Got you.
Building relationships and scaling up. So is there anything that you would do differently, like versus when you first started to now?
No, I wouldn't. And the reason why I wouldn't is because we had so much fun. Like, I'm telling you, like, Dre would be at the house with the camera.
Dre the creator.
Like, my cousin, who's an actor, he would be over at the house, which is probably why I have gotten so comfortable a little bit more with coming out and talking and being in front of the camera and stuff like that, because of the stuff that we did at the beginning. Because we launched right before COVID hit. And then once COVID hit, of course, we had to figure out a different way to do it. So it was we had a lot of fun, and everybody that was around us had a lot of fun because they got to drink everything that was made.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's always good free drinks on Toya.
But
right.
can we stop and talk kind of like a little bit about that process though?
Yeah.
Like, what was y'all doing? What was the atmosphere like? What did like you said, y'all got the drink? What was y'all getting in inventory? Just all was y'all hustling out of the van? You know what I'm saying? That whole little.
It was a
Yeah,
lot of
just
fun.
yeah.
It was way more fun. So we would decide on what drinks would be made. So we basically did a weekly live video on Fridays. And we would just determine if whether it be one drink or three drinks that were going to be made, and then just show people on live how to make the drinks. So
Yeah.
we would I would talk to Dre, talk to T, talk to my cousin. We would set it up. They kind of would get together to determine what the set needed to look like. This is a set in our house basically that we created. We had the whole green screen and everything in the
Yeah.
house.
The whole
So we
nine.
had the whole setup at the
Movie.
house. So they would just determine what that needed to look like, and then T, like, honestly, like, definitely pushed me. Like, the first time I said I was gonna do live, I'm like, I think I'm gonna do live. He like, come on, let's go, let's do it. You know,
What
like,
made hold on, stop there. What made you like just be like, let's do it? Like just the comfortability, the
I don't
It
know.
was T.
energy.
It-
Yeah,
right.
the
It's
energy.
just
Hey.
He pushed her.
he like, come on, let's go.
Let's go.
We got everything that we need. We got the bar. We got all this stuff. He like, let's
It's
go.
there,
We called
huh?
Dre,
Yeah.
and we did it.
Made it
And it was
happen.
just like my family is so supportive. Like
Right.
they are so supportive.
Support.
Like they've been down since day one. So
Yeah.
like, hey y'all, we go over to T's dad's house. Like, hey, we getting ready to come over here. We need to test out some drinks. Y'all gonna be there? They're like, yeah, and the whole family coming.
Right.
We go over to his uncle's house and we
Right.
would do videos down there, my mom's house. Like everybody in my family has always been so supportive. And that's the other thing about Toast to the Good Life. It's all family. It's
Right.
family oriented. Majority of the family works with the company. So it's
So those misconceptions about don't do business with family.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
you
so
know,
crazy. I never heard somebody say that.
Yeah.
Ever. You heard somebody ever say that?
nah, I mean,
It's
not
always
in our
been-
community, not in
Right,
our
yeah, that's what
culture.
I'm
It's
saying.
like it's
that's-
kind of it's a little bit of
It's definitely a
not rare.
misconception,
It
stereotypes,
is.
all
So-
that stuff.
It
But it's
is.
great, yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like that's
that's
great,
what's
and
up.
as long as
Blessed.
the communication is there, as long as the
Oh,
love
yeah.
is there, but you know, I think it takes being around and building a team, and once y'all know
Absolutely.
each other and y'all on the same page, then you know, shit will just flow.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so crazy. My grandmother is what 83. My grandmother is even involved. She's like, well, what kind of stuff do you need for the business?
Yeah,
My
yeah,
mom
yeah.
is like, okay, I'm
Wow.
gonna come and show up and do this. You know, like it's everybody. My brother, everything, everybody.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be toxic, but that's unbelievable.
Everybody.
That's
My,
crazy.
I mean, you see how
Yeah,
my
I see
brother,
how y'all
my
move.
yeah, you know, like
That's
we,
the weird
Yeah,
thing too.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
the
yeah.
triangle that y'all be having, like
we-
y'all all in
we
sync, like
move.
it just.
It's funny though, because they really in a triangle.
Right,
Right now.
yeah, they is though. That's how I seen it. Like, I mean, like it's crazy. So you didn't have family challenges, but was there like any other challenges that you faced, like starting out, or even just now? Like, what were some challenges that you had to like overcome?
I think initially just not knowing what I didn't know.
Gotcha.
Was a huge challenge for me. So just like who's doing it in the city? What am I supposed to do? Can I do it? What does it look like? And not having a community really in the city that I can go to here and be like, hey, I see you all have this group. Can I join the group and get some information? So for this lane, I have not seen that community at the beginning, but now I see that community. And there's a group on Facebook, a Facebook mobile bartending group. And I was able to join that group, ask a question, and that's actually how I got my mobile bartending mentor at that time. And he pretty much gave me all the game that I needed.
Wow.
How does it like? What did it take for you to like trust somebody like that? Because I feel like there's a lot of skeptics and there's a lot of stuff going on just on the internet in general. Like,
True.
and I mean, I feel like that's great. I get a lot of information from social media. You can meet a lot of good people on social
Yeah.
media. Just I feel like that's the way of the world now. Anyway, but what do you say? Was it like how you knew you could just be able to be comfortable jumping in? Because I feel like that hold a lot of people back from doing a lot of things too. As well.
Trusting the process to jump in or trusting that person?
Both,
Okay.
you know. Well, just more so trusting that person, like
Okay.
being on. I mean, obviously, I don't know what your Facebook
Yeah.
life was like before. Had you been on before you had a business for
like
real,
that.
or no, not really? You really
No,
wasn't on.
that was one of my challenges.
Gotcha.
Social media was a huge challenge for me.
Yeah, yeah,
That was not. So I had one of my friends that pushed me to, like I joined social media because there was this fitness group that me and my friends were a part of. So I joined social media for that. But then I had another friend that pushed me to do social media because of my business. And then I had another friend, her name is Mandy, and she is a graphic designer, but she pretty much helped me like understand what I needed to do with social media, understand like she's the one that designed my logo.
Nice.
Like
Shout out to Mandy.
she has
Man,
given me
big
like
shots.
so much game. She does like these socials that she has every other month where it's like themed and business people come there and get to like, it's more than networking, but it's super live. But anywho, Mandy, she was definitely a game changer for me as
Yeah.
far as the internet and social media.
Again, I want to stop and take the time to say, like, just look at the positive impact of social media. They
Yeah.
talk about, like, I run around people and they say that social media has ruined a generation which in a sense, I can see what they're talking about. But if you look at the positives of it and what it could actually do for our future and our community, it's such a beautiful thing. in a sense.
Huge. And I
Yeah.
I cannot forget to plug my girls at Coco Bloggers because actually
Coco.
Rebecca, who started Coco Bloggers, is the one that actually created my IG account for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I met her at a bloggers event that was thrown by this girl named Danielle, and Rebecca actually created my IG account at that time. So I cannot, because the Coco Bloggers, they about their business. They out here doing a whole lot of stuff on social media land.
Yeah,
Nice.
okay.
That's what's up. Coco.
Coco Bloggers.
So can I ask you, you ever had like a 9 to 5, like what was your 9 to 5, or are you still working a 9 to 5, or?
Nope,
like,
not anymore.
Yeah.
So it was mainly, so my background is operation management and accounting. So that's what I was doing, operation management. So like I'm a paper pusher all day long. I could be on the computer. I can whip some stuff up on it. You need
Versatile.
Excel. I could do that. You need a Word document. Okay, you need a pivot table. Blah, 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 blah. I got you. Like I'm a paper pusher, computer girl. So that was my lane.
Yeah.
So that's why like, when I say I can get in the zone, because I actually like business.
Yeah.
So it's like I like to talk business. I like to be in business. So it's like, okay, come on. I get on the phone with Devoe. We chop it up like, sure, heck yeah,
Going
let's
crazy.
get it.
Right.
Like, like I like business. So that was my lane.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. Oh, so about that person. What made me feel like I can trust that person?
Right.
At that time, it wasn't really like a trust thing. It was just like, okay, let's see. It was more just like, I want to see how this interaction goes.
Right,
and
right.
he wasn't charging me.
Yeah.
So he was starting a
Free game.
mentorship, and he said, I want to start this, but I want you to join for free. And after this, I'm going to go ahead and roll it out.
Right.
So I had my first meeting with him. All vibes were good. Everything was cool. And he actually had it all in place.
Yeah.
Nice.
Facts.
Nice.
Set up structurally. Right.
So what is unique about Toast to the Good Life? If anybody wanted to buy the products and services, like what would they be buying? Would it be the customer service? Would it be the drinks? Would it be the atmosphere? Like what would that be?
So the one thing that we constantly hear on our reviews, feedback, and everything is professionalism. So we hear that our team is professional, the way we do things is professional, communication, all of that is professional. The other thing is we have a team. So other people have had to bring this to my attention, like Junior had to bring this to my attention, like it's actually a team. It's a bartending. It's a mobile bar company, and not just a mobile bartender. So it's not just me. There's a team of people. So you could talk to me at the beginning and help. I can get you booked, and we can go through all of that. But then there could be an event to where you don't even see me because we have a team of people.
Yeah.
So it's family oriented.
Yep.
Family oriented.
So Junior, you're a part of the family.
Yep. So what advice would you give like a upcoming entrepreneur? Like what would you tell them to do differently versus what you did, if that is the case?
So me and T was going over this stuff before I got here.
Nice.
In the words of Coach T, guard your grill.
Hey.
Guard your grill. Guard 'em.
Guard your grill. I didn't have anything crazy that happened to me, but definitely just making sure that you are around, you have a business coach, Mortar is out there. Big ups to Mortar too. It's if you're around other entrepreneurs, just making sure you stay in that circle. Like, don't be in the mindset of I can do this myself. I can do this myself. You probably can, but you're only gonna get so far.
Right.
So if you're an entrepreneur, stay around other entrepreneurs. Stay connected to that community because you're gonna get a whole lot out of that.
Yeah, I definitely can dig that because there's so much when you digging, there's so much to find in business. Like, and if you just don't know, you just don't know. And now you're in a situation to where you got to call somebody like myself to get you out.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
definitely, you got to have a team. And it just to me it just seemed like for you, there was just like almost like a smooth process in a way. That's the feel I get. Like you ain't really go through a lot because you already had the family oriented, the family, the support, like people pushing you. So it really wasn't a lot of struggle there.
No, not as far as like people wise. There wasn't a lot of struggle because the people were already there. Hence, like meeting up with Potion 9. So like when I met them in 2020 and we were doing an interview with them. So I just reached out to them because my sister Brittany, she had their bottle and I was like, well, what's this? So I reached out to them and it was just supposed to be like an interview. But it turned into this whole 2-week Potion 9 experience where you can come downtown to experience their product. So like it's just stuff like that has been happening. Like I've just been meeting a lot of great people and I must put out some good energy or something.
Yeah, they put you in the right. It's like those people because I hear the thing in Cincinnati. I don't know if you heard about the Cincinnati culture, how we don't want to give out information or we don't want to help each other. They call it the crabs in a barrel thing, but I always say that you can't put crabs in a barrel because that's not its natural habitat. But that's a whole nother thing. I ain't gonna get into that.
True facts.
But at the same time, I hear people say that. But for you, it was like you have nothing but like a blessed experience, like, and I ain't gonna perp. I'm a little
jealous, huh?
Little jealous, just a little bit. I'm like, what is going on right now? Like I'm telling you, I done coach so many different entrepreneurs, and I've never heard nobody say the stuff you said.
Really?
I'm telling you, like it's just unheard of. So it's mind boggling. My mind is going crazy. Like now, what? Where's she been at? How did this happen? This, and I think maybe it was T, Dre, and all those other people that you named that was just around you. They just
facts. The good energy. Yeah. And
energy.
She got you. There it is.
Hey, there it is.
Why even need the struggle? You already got the
right.
You already got the plan. I want to ask though, like we talked about maybe the struggles, but what do you see in the future? Is good for your business and just like pushing forward as an entrepreneur because that shit never stops. It keeps going.
It never stops.
Yeah.
Right? It never stops.
Train keeps going.
So for Toast to the Good Life, I think there's a couple of different avenues that I see for Toast to the Good Life. Right now we do have the mobile bartending services that we have available. The other component that we have is the bartending classes that we have available. So I also teach the bartending classes. Okay. So everybody that's in my family, I taught them how to bartend, and it ain't no chump change type class. You know what I mean? Like it ain't just like a 1 or 2 day class. Not saying that anybody that does that is chump change. I mean, I'm not even talking about money wise. I mean knowledge wise when I say it's chump change. It really is like a 4-week course that you come to once a week for 4 weeks, or you can do a whole week, and then at the end you get your behind the bar experience where people actually come in and you get to serve them drinks that they order. So my family has been through that. The other thing that is for Toast to the Good Life is the product part of it. So that's why working with brands like Potion 9 is huge. Working with brands like Uncle Nearest is huge. I also work with another brand, Phoenix Spirits.
Okay.
They
out in Texas.
They are. She is in Carolina, I believe now.
Okay.
So she wasn't. Yeah, the product was in Florida. Yes. Yep. They have their product in Florida.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So working with them. So that's the next thing. Like continuing to work with these companies and just strengthening my partnership with them. I would like to have a product, but not a alcohol type product. I just don't know what that's gonna look like.
No.
A non-alcoholic. That's the other thing that we do. We do kits too. bartending kits. So like if you have a cocktail that you want to make, we do the kits, but we just can't put the alcohol in there.
Okay, perfect. At this time, we got a few segments that we want to hear. One is our healing segment, so we'll talk about that. So what are some things that you want to like heal from? Because this is a mental health podcast, and on this podcast we do say it with our chest. So what are some things that you kind of like want to heal from? And it could be physical, mentally, emotionally, financial, whatever, whichever route you want to go down.
So healing personally is the passing of my youngest brother. So he was killed in a hit and run 10 years ago. And then my father was actually just killed in a hit and run in May of this year. So just healing from those traumas. So still working through those personally. And then business wise is being more, I'm okay with being in the front, but I'm not okay at being in the front. Like
Which
just I would rather not. I would rather be behind doing the work and do what I got to do. So just making sure that
Too
I
modest.
step out a little bit more. And
Be the
so-
face. You gotta be the face. You gotta show on the brand. You
Yeah.
are the brand in a sense. So.
And I'm okay with that client, working with a
Right.
client, working around. But it was like,
Yeah.
okay, Toya, we want to put your face on this poster. Hold on, time out.
Right, yeah.
Why? What we doing?
And to be honest though, like I feel like that's kind of where we fall off in the black community. Like sometimes we want to be too far behind. And we
Yeah.
need to be, sometimes we need to show that we are the face. We are,
True.
you know what I'm saying? Like you said, this ain't no chump change. You know what I'm saying, that people gonna get. So this is, where we are. We building ourselves. So,
True.
I think
Good
it's
point.
great. I love being modest because it's like, I'm humble. I don't really need to be cocky about anything. I don't really need to, say it's just me or about me because it's the fam. But at the same
Man.
time, it's like you the boss in here. You orchestrated this shit. Everybody can't do that. So I feel like we as black people need to have more step up or have
True.
more integrity because that's what all these other races do with once they get to the top or in a sense like. I just feel like
No, I feel
we just
you.
need to be more empowered
True.
for ourselves. Like we have all the resources that we need, we have everything that we need, and we need to be more faces on.
True. I
front.
think I just feel so blessed,
Yeah,
because
I
it be
feel you.
so
I feel
like
it.
Yeah.
Nah,
there's so many
humble.
moving pieces and so many people that I'm
Yeah.
like, you want a picture of all of us?
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Because I'm like, I can't do it by myself. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's hard for me to be like me, like that part is just hard for me.
You know what's crazy? Since you said that, I struggle with that.
Yeah.
And the reason I struggle with that is because for my particular industry, with dealing with youth, I've always had to kind of play chess and maneuver around like who's the president and who's the CEO. So sometimes if you go on my website, and it's so crazy, perception is so crazy, right?
Perception is reality.
Yes.
To certain
Yes.
people, yes.
Yes.
And it was.
Yes.
And I literally tested out this theories because the company that I own, 7 years in the game, mentoring, educating youth, social emotional development, conflict resolution, all that good stuff, right? The website, if you go to my website, you won't see anything about me, right? Nothing. So when I tell the people these corporate companies and all these big time educational people, they like who owns the company?
Right.
It's like so you a president, you the CEO?
That would be me.
yeah, that's me. Like, oh, I thought it was no disrespect. I thought it was a white man or white woman because it looked so professional. And I was just like, so professional. Dang, that's how they look at us. Like we unprofessional. So I've always felt like I had to hide behind it. But for me, it was more of a strategy.
Yeah.
Type of thing to be able to get in the door because I don't tell this story a lot. But when I first came in the door, I was like this. You know what I mean? I was on some Black Panther style. I don't know why. I just seen the movie and I was just on
Hey,
it.
that's how
When
it
I
be.
first got in, like, you know what I mean? Like, my earlier years, that's what I was on. Like, because I'm like, man, y'all ain't doing this, y'all ain't doing that, and all that stuff. So that's what kind of happened. But to your point, I definitely respect it. I feel
Yeah, and I think it's a good balance of both. Like
Yeah.
go in there, black power, but at the same time, understand, you got to go in there strategically
Right.
and be able to move and, in any type of room with any type of person. So,
True.
definitely, your face should be on the front simply because you got the knowledge to, apply that. Like he said, damn, this is structured very well. You did this. I thought this was such and such. Nah, this me. I can do that. Right. So, take it for what it is. Like, it's not unbelievable. It is, that's real shit true. Right there.
Yeah.
So,
true.
Okay. Yeah.
I respect that. Okay. Ooh, all right, yeah.
Everybody getting some today. Everybody getting some.
Big facts.
So, just staying on the healing segment, for me, I'm going to continue to remain consistent. I'm in mental health therapy. Publicly, I always said that. Still doing that. Still working through my challenges. Still doing my yoga, my meditation. And I actually just got on a horse on the weekend. You know what I mean? That's something I ain't never did before. Right. So, horse therapy, whatever. So, just trying to step out the comfort zone. Etter, you got something?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, I always like to say, protect your energy. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of negative energy going on. And, we can live in the past and things that may have been bad in our, that happened to us before. But I think I like to push forward. I'm optimistic about the future. And I think there's a lot of good things going on. So, if you have anything going on, just learn how to talk to people, learn how to find your vices and things that you can, go to just to help you push forward mentally. Because at the end of the day, our mental is really all we got.
True. That's what's up.
All right, the next segment is where we're going to drop a gem. I'll go first. At some point, there is no more excuse. You are either willing to do everything. You are willing to do everything it takes to make it happen. Or if not, you're still making a choice, even though you don't feel like you're making a choice. You're still making a choice. So make the right choice.
That's what's up. I would definitely say if you are going to get into this lane of entrepreneurship, make sure that it's your passion and you're not just chasing money.
Ooh.
Facts. And I mean, I would say just to kind of hit on the entrepreneurship balance, make sure you have some type of balance. You talked about the crazy hours that, you work, but, enjoy life, especially at a younger age. It's, it's a marathon. And you got to be willing to run it as far as the entrepreneurship life, because it just don't happen overnight. So, balance. Have that balance of, family time, time that you spend for yourself, time that you spend working on your business, time that you spend on hobbies that, you just really like and take care of yourself.
It's the truth.
Yeah, and have a good backbone. I think I heard you say that. I heard T name a lot. Everybody want to know who T is. Where T at? Yeah, where he at?
Come on over here.
Yeah.
Gotta have that atom on your shoulder. You know what I mean?
True.
You got a good backbone.
That's
so
huge.
that's
huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Okay. And then the last thing is we're going to shout out a black-owned business. One of the business that I'll shout out is Conscious Kitchen. Man, I really miss the glazed salmon sandwich in Cuba. Man, I miss that joint.
Turkey burgers.
Yeah.
I don't know about the turkey burgers.
Turkey burgers slap.
Cuban. Hey,
those
that
are
Cuban,
the bomb.
That's fire.
That is fire.
I'm telling you,
That
no other
is
way.
fire.
Cuban.
Straight Cuban.
That's fire. The business I want to shout out is definitely Potion 9. So AB and RJ, those are my guys. The two drinks that we have here tonight, we have the Spike Pink Lemonade, and then can you hand me that bottle?
Okay.
Both of them.
Oh.
So we have the Spike Pink
potion
Lemonade here, and then some of the proceeds from this bottle goes towards breast cancer, and then we have our Spike Tropical Lemonade, and some of the proceeds from this bottle goes to suicide awareness. So Potion 9 is not only just a cocktail for you to drink, but they are definitely community conscious. There's a lot of things that they do in the community. There are two other things that they do. They have the HIV awareness. They also have racial equality as well. So shout out to Potion 9.
And I want to shout out Devoe Sherman's Consulting. Yes, sir. Like you said, he, displayed it right here on this podcast of how much knowledge he has, how much he can help somebody, and, put them in a good position, There's no bad energy he's already seen. It, even just adding himself to that is amazing. So, yeah, Sherman's Consulting. Check in.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it. Well, Etter,
Yeah, we wrapping up. We got another set.
we did it.
Mr.
We
Toya,
did
you
it.
Thank
got
y'all for
anything to say?
having me.
LaToya Jackson,
Hey.
mixologist at Toast of the Good Life.
Toast to the
Yeah, and
good
just like
life.
that,
Can you give?
we out, y'all.
We out.